One of the things we wanted to talk about is how do you help your daughter become good in athletics? I mean, what's the start of all this process? What do you do with a young girl as she's learning and how you get into it? I think one of our biases is that we don't agree with a lot of parents nowadays with what they're doing because we know what it takes to help kids become exceptional athletes, which means to be scholarship athletes. And we think many times today parents are just overextended, doing too much, and involving their kids in all these type of activities when we think they're going to get burnt out by the time they get in high school. Because high school is a big time where you really have to pick up steam in order to become a good athlete. So I wanted to talk about that for a few minutes, Mag, about what's going on with parents nowadays and how they're, for example, driving their kids to 80 different activities and
Right.
having their kids at sports camps when they're 9 years old.
Well, I think it's really sad because you have to think about who that benefits. And I think what happens is that parents nowadays think that if they give their child all these experiences, whether it's baseball, basketball, soccer, whatever it is, that the child then will learn what they do the best or what they like. But what's important is that the child doesn't learn how to play. They don't learn how to just get along with a team or how to just play the game. They're so focused on skills, maybe, or winning. A lot of times, these young sport teams are focused on winning, and they win beyond the skill level of their players. So, we never believed that these young organized sport groups were healthy for our children. And, like you said, if they do play in college, they seriously have to play basketball for about 10 years.
Right.
But if you start a child out when they're like
8, 9 years old.
Right. That's a lot of years.
Yeah, it just gets crazy. And our early thing with kids when they were young was that they learned to love something.
Right.
If you have a talent at something, whether it's violin or playing basketball, you want to get that kid to love it. Certainly it is, we've talked about it, it's through practice and through effort. But you're not going to learn that in these camps with these coaches, et cetera. It's push, 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 push. And we don't think that that's going to be enjoyment. You've got to love it. You just got to work your way into it. So we didn't do organized sports with our kids until they were maybe 12 years old or so.
Right.
Those early years, there's no way we were sending our kids to sports camps when they're 9 or 10.
Right.
The other thing that irritates me about this is that I think parents should be involved with their kids, with their sports. That the parents should be out there shooting hoops, or when the kids even like playing a violin or playing piano, that the parents should be involved in practice in the process. And to me, a lot of these parents, they're driving their kids here, there, and everywhere. But they're not involved. They're not making the effort. It's
Right.
like they're handing it over to the coach and saying, why don't you raise my kid?
Right.
Why don't you teach my kid how to be an athlete?
Yes, it really needs to be a family kind of fun experience. We used to take vacations, and it was always fun to find a basketball court and then see. We even got into pickup games, which was the 5 of us against whoever was picking up a basketball game, and that was always fun because then we could bond together.
Yeah, athletics should be family. It should be, everybody should be invested in. How do you expect your kid to be good at something or exceptionally talented when you're really not involved? Basically, we're saying don't subcontract out your work to people you hardly even know, these coaches or whatever, particularly in these early years.
Right.
Make an effort, get involved. You're going to give a big lesson to your kids. You're saying to your kids, I love you. I care about you. I'm in this with you. We're in this together. I want you to learn how to do this well, and I'm going to spend a lot of time with you so you can develop as a person and as an athlete. And we think that's the key,
Yep.
not going to all these different camps when you're 9 years old.
That's right.